Hey house guests, welcome to today's Big Brother Canada 8 updates and spoilers. Our house guest of the day is Van Scott. Van, thank you so much for the support. We could not do this without you, and we really do appreciate it, so thank you again. And if you guys want to be house guest of the day like Van, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. Alright, so when we left off yesterday, a new room had just appeared off of the Expedia Lounge. The house guests were calling it Maui because it had like sand on the floor and beach chairs and beach decorations. It looked like a lot of fun, but also a freaking mess. Are they going to be tracking that sand all over the house or what? They also noticed an arrivals/departures board appeared in the Expedia Lounge, so they were all studying that, getting all the details from that, because, I think it's pretty safe to assume that's going to be coming up in a competition. But you never know with Canada, actually, because they have tricked them before and been like, just kidding, we're not using this. But I think it probably will have something to do with the next HOH competition. So yeah, there was a lot of studying going on, and then checking in with the vote this week. It's not looking great for Michael. There was a small window was it yesterday's spoiler or the day before? Tuesday. There was a small window Tuesday where it seemed like, whoa, Michael could actually stay this week and flip this vote. But his potential flip votes got scared and backed off. And that was like Hira, Carol, and Angie. Jamar and Minley were kind of in the mix there too, but once they said no, everybody else was like, oh, the votes aren't there. Can't do it. So, yeah. Let's see what happens here. So, Maddie and Kyle were having a calm conversation in the dining area, and Kyle says, I want to say I'm sorry for the way that things went down this week. If I had been in power, it wouldn't have gone down that way. And he says, I will always be here for you on a personal level, but I'm sorry that I can't always be there on a game level. Oh no. He said, I'm playing for my family. He is trying to justify all the craziness of this week and all the lies because Michael and Maddie will not stop talking about how Kyle was so dishonest and he's such a liar and blah 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 and dirty gameplay. But he's saying like, no, this is Big Brother. There is lying and I'm doing this to win for my family. So, I could see both sides of it. Like, yeah, if you got screwed over, I think you'd be pretty upset. But they just will not stop talking about it. And that's the game. That's the game. So he says, I'm not a puppet master. I feel like you're trying to pin this all on me. It wasn't me. And everybody saw you four together. We know all of you four, meaning the victors, were working together. So it is what it is. So Maddie's crying, of course. And she says it's hard because she likes Kyle on a personal level. And she's still claiming that the four were not working together and that people just, painted that picture and that it came true. Come on! We all saw you trying to do your freaking signal together and you couldn't put all your backs together at the same time. We know. So, anyway, she says that Kyle made personal connections with people and he used that to his advantage in the game and it's not fair. So, he played Big Brother? That's like the definition of playing Big Brother, but okay. So, Maddie wants to know why Michael was the target this week. Why him of all people? And Kyle says, I wasn't the HOH, so it wasn't really up to me. You should probably talk to Chris, because he was the HOH this week, remember? So Kyle says, if it was my HOH, it would have been direct, and it would not have been Michael going. And I just want to emphasize, too, I was very excited in my delivery. I just realized of this whole conversation, but it was very, calm and quiet compared to the way that we've seen Maddie and Kyle interact the last few days. So, anyway, Jamar was talking to the cameras at one point yesterday. What's new? But this time, we got some insight into his game between all of the, you feel me? You feel me? You feel me? It's a lot. So he says he's the man. And he's running this house. I do have to say, Jamar has got a good thing going right now. He's got good relationships with almost the whole entire house. But I think Jamar's issue is that he is very trusting of whatever people say to him. So, people could say, I'm totally with you. I'd never put you up, blah, blah, blah. And he just takes that as he takes it at face value. He thinks that, yeah, this person is telling me the truth, and that's absolutely what's going to happen. And I don't think that's always the case. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what his BS detector is like as the game moves forward. But I will say, at this point, he's got some really good relationships with a lot of people. So anyway, he's like, okay, I have a 5-person alliance with Hera, Sheldon, Suzanne, and Brooke. And it seems like this is his main alliance that he is true to. I don't freaking know where he actually stands with Min Lee. Seriously, they, like, hate each other, but they also want to, like, bang. Like, I don't know what's going on there. But he also says, okay, I have Chris, who wants to go far with me. We have really good trust. I've got Min Lee, obviously, who's in my pocket. He said she's literally obsessed with him. Just from what I've seen, it seems like Min Lee wants Jamar to be her number one, but he doesn't necessarily feel the same way. Like, he'll hook up with her or whatever, but it doesn't seem like he really wants to work with her. It's really weird. So, Angie has told Jamar that she would never nominate him or put him on slop or vote to evict him. And he doesn't think that Carol's going to win any competitions, but he says if she does, he will rekindle their friendship. He's got a plan for everything, right? So then he gets to Kyle and Vanessa, and this is where he's kind of like, not like a great relationship with them. He feels like Kyle might potentially nominate him if he wins HOH. I don't know. I'm not really sure what exactly Kyle would do at this point. Would he go after Min Lee? Would he go after, like, John Luke? I don't know. Or, like, Maddie? I don't know. But he's not as worried about Vanessa. Because Jamar says Vanessa's best friends with Min Lee. Again, I don't know if I fully understand the Vanessa-Min Lee relationship. I don't know if Vanessa is 100% on board with that or if she's just riding that wave for right now. But he says that Min Lee will protect him with Vanessa. So then he gets to the 3 remaining, well, assuming Michael's going, the 3 remaining evictors, Rianne, John Luke, and Maddie, and he says they feel like I'm with them, but I'm not. But if they win HOH, I am with them. So, yeah, he should be cool with them at this point. So Jamar says if he wins HOH, he wants to get Kyle out. I'd love to see it. Okay, so then Brooke and Suzanne were studying and chatting in the Have-Not Swamp, and Brooke is like, okay, you know what? I didn't want to say this in front of everyone, but we probably shouldn't help Hera study, even though he's in that alliance, that new alliance of 5 with them, because he wants to get Kyle out. And Brooke and Suzanne do not want that right now. They want to keep Kyle around. They feel like they have a good connection with him, so why are they going to get rid of him, even if he is bleh? So, Brooke says, okay, so we're not helping Hera study. Also, Jamar, who is on board to get rid of Kyle, doesn't seem to be taking the studying seriously. He doesn't think that this is for the HOH competition. We'll see. Maybe he's onto something. I don't know. So, Suzanne thinks that Brooke has probably, like, the best chance to win this one. But they are a little bit freaked out how quickly Chris memorized some of the information. Now, if it's for this next HOH competition, it won't matter because Chris can't compete. But that being said, this is opening their eyes a little bit more about Chris in future mental competitions. He's got some brain power, so they're a little bit freaked out about that. But Suzanne says he's a good guy. He's just kind of really awkward. They agree he's a little too touchy, a little bit too much of a close talker in, like, the Seinfeld sense. Like, too close to the face. Back up. And he's a little bit patronizing to women. They don't like how he, like, claims the girls. There's only one person who can say, my girls, and that's RuPaul. But anyway, they agree that he is a good guy overall. So then they're discussing Min Lee, and they feel like she's really manipulative, she's untrustworthy, but she has really good intuition. And Brooke says, I'm kind of crapping my pants because I feel like Min Lee can sense that I don't trust her. You know, she's on to me. And there's some weird stuff going on between Brooke and Mingli at this point. Brooke is kind of wondering if Mingli is upset because Jamar and Sheldon are both like flirting with her. And yeah, I don't know. There's some like passive aggressiveness happening, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But Brooke also says that Mingli creates chaos so that people will go after each other. Yes, she is a chaos queen. So anyway, changing gears here. Maddie and sort of Rianne are still trying to campaign for Mike. And I say sort of Rianne because she was really sick yesterday and she was kind of like just laying around, like literally lying on the floor. So yeah, at one point, Maddie, Rianne, and Jamar were in the Expedia lounge. And Maddie asks Jamar, how are you voting? We need to know so that we can get everybody locked in. And she tells him, we have the votes to flip this thing. No, it's dead. You don't have the votes. But she says people are nervous to do it without confirmation from everybody else who's supposed to be voting Brooke out. Because they want to hear, like, yes, this person's on board, this person's on board, this person's on board. But if everybody's wishy-washy about it, nobody is actually committing. So Jamar's playing along, and he's like, yeah, I'm going to vote out Brooke. You feel me? He's not voting out Brooke. But Maddie says, if you think about it, once Brooke is gone, you will be Sheldon's number one. And I know you really like Sheldon. Okay, so then Angie comes in and the conversation ends. So Jamar checks in with Sheldon, tells him about the conversation that he just had with Maddie and sick Rianne, and they share a laugh about it. Yeah, Sheldon confirms that people are lying to the fore about their votes. Michael is going. So then a little while later, Jamar, Hira, and Suzanne are having a game chat in the colorful bedroom, and they're debating who the next target should be. So Jamar and Hira want Kyle out, and Sheldon, Suzanne, and Brooke are all dragging their feet. They don't want to get rid of Kyle yet, but Jamar and Hira don't realize that those other three in their alliance have another alliance that includes Kyle, and they don't want to cut him loose at this point. So Jamar says, I don't know why the others, meaning the others in their 5-person alliance, are on Kyle's dick so bad. So Suzanne says, I'm scared. I think that Jean-Luc is a bigger threat. And Jamar says, no. Jean-Luc has no influence, and Hira adds, yeah, he just mopes around the house, and Kyle, even when he's down, he still goes around and talks to everyone. So Jamar says, we have the biggest group right now with our 5 people. No, there's a 6. And he says, let's not do Kyle's dirty work by going after the 3 victors. If we wait too long, Kyle is going to have enough time to mend fences with the 3, and his social game is way stronger than Jean-Luc's. He's going to be way more of a problem than Jean-Luc moving forward. And then Jamar does this, like, hilarious Jean-Luc impression, like a surfer voice. It was really funny. Yeah, so he is trying to get the target onto Kyle, but he is getting some resistance from Suzanne, Brooke, and Sheldon. So then Brooke and Minley chat in the black and white bedroom, and they're working through some issues. Brooke pulled her aside to chat, and she says, I feel like you've made some passive-aggressive comments towards me that are making me look really shady. Like, there was some sort of comment about Brooke having a fake laugh, and it made her nervous because she didn't want people to hear that and then be like, oh, she has a fake laugh, like she's fake in this game. So she's worried about these passive-aggressive jokes affecting her game. So Min says, oh, it wasn't meant to be passive-aggressive. I just meant it as a joke. And she says, you know what? I totally get it. I feel the same exact way when Sheldon makes jokes about me in front of other people. And it kind of makes them wonder, like, oh, is this something that's going to creep into the game? So Brooke thinks that Minley should bring it up to Sheldon. She thinks he'll be really receptive to this conversation. So after that wraps up, Brooke goes and talks to Sheldon, and she says, yeah, Min Lee, wants to talk to you, blah, blah, blah. So Sheldon goes to the black and white bedroom to talk to Min Lee, and Min is like, I'm mad at you. And then she's like, no, I'm not mad, I'm irked at you. So she tells him to sit down. He's like, no, I don't want to sit down. She tells him to sit down again, and he's like, no. She's obviously trying to, like, control this conversation. So she's like, fine. Some of the comments that you make about me make me uncomfortable. You know, these are things that could potentially hurt my game. And Sheldon's like, okay, I'll stop doing it. You know, like, it was just supposed to be a joke, but if it makes you uncomfortable, I'll stop. I think there was more to this, though. I think, on an unrelated note, Min Lee is getting really jealous of Jamar, and that's kind of, like, affecting her relationships with other people, too, because Jamar is always flirting with other girls, and I think it bothers her that he's also super close to Suzanne. I feel like he's kind of, like, more loyal to Suzanne in the game than he is to Min Lee, and I think Min Lee can sense that, because, again, she is very intuitive, so she doesn't want to feel disrespected. She was talking about this with Vanessa. She's kind of feeling like maybe she wants to separate herself a bit from Jamar. But now that I'm thinking about that, I mean, that could be strategy on her part, that she's saying this to Vanessa because she wants, you know, that to spread around the house. I don't know. But today, John Luke's been making some moves, not to campaign for Michael. I think that's pretty much done at this point. But he's trying to make sure that he's going to be okay moving forward. So he talked to Sheldon, and this was something that Sheldon and Brooke actually already discussed. They wanted to try and make sure they're good with John Luke, just in case he wins HOH. So there was this whole mutual thing, like, John Luke said he's not going to be going after Sheldon and Brooke, and Sheldon says, we're not going to go after you either. Cool. John Luke was also trying to smooth things over with Chris and Kyle. We'll see what happens there. So then, this is kind of interesting. There was also a rumor going around today that Carol was either going to flip her vote or cast a rogue vote against Brooke. So this is, like, freaking Brooke out. And I think what happened, I'm not 100% sure on this, but I think Carol mentioned something about her vote to Rhiann, and then Rhiann told Jamar, and then Jamar told Brooke. So anyway, it gets back to Carol, and she confirms to Brooke, I am voting Michael out. Like, you don't have to worry about me, I'm voting Michael out. But now she's kind of worried that someone is going to set her up and actually do a rogue vote, and it's going to look like she did it. So she's really worried about that. She's hoping it's going to be a 9-3 vote. We'll see. The eviction is tonight. There's not going to be a live audience because of the coronavirus, and I hope everybody stays safe out there, be smart. It's also going to mean, I'm assuming, no spoilers about who was evicted and who won HOH, but better safe than sorry, right? And, yeah, it looks like Michael's going, and it could be a 9-3 vote, or it could be more than that, because Michael was telling his fellow evictors, don't worry about voting keep me, I don't want you guys to, you know, look bad to everybody else and, like, stick your necks out there like that when there's no chance of me staying. So I don't know if they're going to follow through and vote to keep him or what. But in any case, I think it's pretty safe to say that Michael's going. So let me know who you guys are rooting for HOH in the comments, and I'll see you all later. So until then, much love.